The marble statue, traditionally called the Discobolus Lancelotti, is among the most celebrated Roman copies after the lost bronze original attributed in antiquity to the Greek sculptor Marie-Lan. Housed since the 19th century in the collections of the Museo Nazionale Romano, the Lancelotti Discobolus has long served as an icon for classical notions of athletic idealism and motion. Although the canonical bronze by Marie-Lan is lost, Roman marble variants preserve the composition's formal dynamics. The Lancelotti example is a pivotal specimen in debates about the fidelity of marble copies to bronze prototypes, the mechanics of translating dynamic metal sculpture into stone, and the social meaning of athletic dedication in the Roman imperial period. The Lancelotti statue entered the public record in the early modern period as part of the prominent Lancelotti collection, and was later acquired for the Palazzo Massimo holdings now administered by the National Museum in Rome. Early provenance notes associate the piece with a Roman villa context, consistent with a common Roman practice of collecting Hellenistic originals or quality copies for elite domestic display. The statue's chain of custody, while interrupted by 18th, 19th century collecting transfers, is relatively well documented in museum acquisition records, which preserve earlier restoration invoices and acquisition correspondence. The Lancelotti Discobolus represents a nude male athlete in mid-torsion. The torso is twisted away from the viewer's plane, the right arm extends back holding an oblate discus, while the left arm and legs counterbalance the potential energy of the throw. The figure's weight distribution and balanced contrapposto produce a controlled spiral of movement culminating in a moment of anticipatory stillness. Marble rendering emphasizes the underlying anatomy through softly modeled musculature and carefully incised hair details. However, the marble's tensile limitations necessitated the addition of a supporting strut, often reconstructed in copies or restored in antiquity, that alters the visual lightness of the original bronze conception. Carving marks and microscopic surface analysis of the museum specimen, documented in the object file, show evidence of Roman copyists working from a three-dimensional model or point transfer, with small drill points in recessed zones and rasping traces on broad planes. Thus, the Lancelotti work is an instructive case for the differential affordances of material media and for the adaptive strategies Roman carvers used to approximate bronze effects in stone. Ancient literary tradition ascribes the original Discobolus to Marie-Lan, active in the first half of the 5th century BC. Modern scholarship generally accepts a 5th century bronze prototype whose fame encouraged multiple Hellenistic and Roman copies. The Lancelotti marble is conventionally dated on stylistic grounds to the 1st or 2nd century AD. Features such as surface finish, idealizing facial type, and Roman conservation interventions support this chronology. The statue's reception history has made it a touchstone for evolving tastes about athletic form and the authenticity of copies. In antiquity, disc throwing was associated with gymnastic training and elite paideia. Sculptural monuments of athletes functioned as votive dedications in sanctuaries, notably Olympia, or as honorific commissions celebrating victorious competitors. Roman collectors displayed such figures to assert cultural erudition and continuity with Greek ideals. The Lancelotti copy, likely displayed in a domestic portico or garden, signaled the owner's cultured identity and participation in the trans-Mediterranean visual economy of classical art. The Discobolus Lancelotti exemplifies the complex interplay between original bronze masterpieces and Roman marble replication. Renewed interdisciplinary study promises to clarify both the statue's place within the Discobolus tradition and the broader mechanisms by which classical images were disseminated and revalued across antiquity. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe so you won't miss new ones.